Hello fellas, welcome to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to show to you how I clean my terminals for my Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive hobby. So most racers or most beginner racers are wondering how to clean their terminals because some of them didn't know how to, and I mean there are a lot of videos out there, but this is a thorough tutorial on how to clean your Tamiya terminals. So later I will pop up the picture of this terminal that hasn't been cleaned for a week. So let's proceed to the materials that you're gonna need and the tools that you're also going to need. So for this video you're going to use vinegar. I don't know what the scientific name of this solution is, but you can always look it up on the internet. You're also going to need baking soda. So the reason why you need baking soda is once you have cleaned your terminals, you have to stabilize the content or to remove the vinegar and salt mixture. So you're also going to need this baking soda. And for the container, I'm going to use this Meridian specimen container 60 ml. So if you don't have this at home, you can use a small jar or maybe a drinking glass, but this is just my preference to use this specimen container. So if you live here in the Philippines, I bought this on Mercury Drugs for about 20 pesos. But you can always use whatever you have as long as it contains the mixture. So for the first step, we're going to mix this two products, which is the vinegar and the salt. So I didn't use any kind of measurement on this. So as you can see, it is already 60 ml, same as the container. So I'm just gonna open it. So once you poured all the vinegar inside the container, the next thing you're gonna do is to put some salt in it. Not too much. I guess this amount should suffice and will make a good amount for the mixture. I hope you guys can see it there. So I'm just gonna add this salt to the vinegar. So the reason why I use this container is you can always close the lid, and once you close the lid you can always shake it, so the salt can easily be dissolved. Just have to shake it. So I'm just gonna pause the video for now and wait until I dissolve all the salt inside the container. So I'm back, and as you can see, if you can see it, it is not very clear since the color of the vinegar that I use is not clear. It's kind of white, but it is the salts are already dissolved. So I'm just going to dip those rusty terminals here. See, I'm just going to dip it. So once you dip all the terminals, you can wait for around 5 minutes or maybe longer. I tried it once before. I waited for like 12 hours, and it didn't damage the copper terminal. It just makes it more shiny and like brand new from the kit. So I'm going to pause this video again and let's wait for 5 minutes. Oh, before I forgot, uh, I guess some of you guys are not really sure if vinegar is really good for copper, and some of you might be hesitant on doing this, or you have some doubts. So I'm going to post I'm going to pop up an article during this video that shows you guys how effective vinegar and salt mixture can help to prolong or maybe to clean your terminals. And I'm also going to look for some articles that shows how dirty terminals affect the performance of conductivity of the terminals. Alright, so again, I'm going to pause this video and wait until it's done. So I decided to unpause this video as I remembered something that maybe it might help you or something. So some of you guys might ask, can I use any type or any brand of vinegar that I have? Well, yet technically, well, of course yes, but there are two types of vinegar in the marketplace, wherein you can buy manufactured vinegar, and you can also buy some vinegars have chemicals in it since it is manufactured, and you know, there is some changes to its molecular structure, while the other type of vinegar is straight from the sugar cane, and they they leave it for long time, or yeah, they cook it. I don't know what the term is, but they just process it, but they didn't add any kind of chemicals on the mixture. that that's what makes it organic or something. But I'm not saying that manufactured vinegars are not organic, since it still has some contents from sugarcane. And yeah, as you can see, I use manufactured vinegar on cleaning these terminals, and it works fine. So I guess there's no problem on using what type of vinegar. So I'm just gonna go and pause this video again and wait until it's done. So it took me around, I guess, 10 minutes or maybe less than that, but it exceeds the 5-minute waiting for the vinegar and salt solution to clean the terminals. So let's see the result. So if you guys can't see it clearly, I'm just going to take a photo and pause it, and put a screenshot on this video. Well, I hope you guys can see it. So compared to what it used to look like before, the rust are removed, and it is more cleaner now than what it used to look like before. So I'm going to remove all the pieces. So once we're done cleaning the terminals using vinegar and salt mixture, we're going to remove the vinegar and salt mixture from the terminals using room temperature water and baking soda. So I'm just pouring some baking soda on this plastic lid to make sure that it won't go all over the place. So this amount of baking soda should be enough for this 60 ml solution. So I'm just going to pour it so it will dissolve, and I can also close the lid and shake it. So once it is already dissolved and I can't see any solid baking soda floating, I will dip the terminals back inside the solution. Just gonna submerge it and shake it again. So once we remove the vinegar and salt solution using this baking soda and water solution, I'm going to dry this down using tissue, because you can't just literally put it back to the motor catch, because water is not good for your batteries and terminals. So I'm going to pause this video again and I'll be back once I'm done drying this out. So now that I'm done drying this out and it is already dried, I hope you guys can see it. So I'm just going to take a photo of this and flash it on the video so you guys can have a closer look at how the vinegar and salt solution affects the copper terminal for our Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive hobby. So as I promised, I will show you an article regarding the effectiveness of vinegar and salt solution in terms of cleaning your copper contacts for Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive hobby. So as you can see on this article, it says that whenever the copper is exposed to air, which is oxygen, the oxygen molecule or the atom of the oxygen and as well as the atom of the copper, they can combine, which makes the copper oxide. So this copper oxide, it looks like rust, or it makes the copper look dirty. So in order to remove the copper oxide, it says here that you can use vinegar and salt solution, since it weakens the copper oxide and dissolves it. So since it only dissolves the copper oxide, which is the dirt that appears in the copper contacts, it doesn't say that it also affects the copper atom itself. So we can ensure that it won't damage your copper contacts, but it will only remove the copper oxide or the dirt that appears in your copper contacts. So with that, I hope you learned something, and you can always check out the link in the description if you wanted to read more about this article, or maybe you can also learn something from it. So on the second article, it says here that one positive effect of copper oxidation is it prevents the further corrosion of the copper, which is good. However, copper oxidation also affects, or it hinders the electrical conductivity of the copper wire. So from the previous article, it says there that acid can cause or it can clean the copper contacts by removing the copper oxidation. However, if the copper contacts is not rinsed, or the solution is not removed from the copper, it can make the copper contacts vulnerable to oxygen molecules that causes further corrosion. That is why it is required to rinse your copper contacts after you cleaned it with vinegar and salt solution. So it only says here on the second article that a clean copper contact is good for conducting electricity, since there's a lot of space for electricity to flow. But if the copper contacts is not clean, well, it also affects the conductivity of the electricity in a negative way. For example, if the tip of the battery that faces the conductor, or that touches the conductor, and the conductor is not cleaned, it has copper oxides, it is dirty, and it is touching the tip of the battery, the electricity coming from the battery wouldn't flow smoothly to the contacts because it is dirty, and that is why it affects the conductivity of the electricity. And that's it.